Hello and welcome to this video. My name is ActiqueRS. So today Jagex updated the combat beta and they updated the combat level system in the combat beta. So nowadays when you go to combat beta you will see that your level is 138 or whatever it was in the old combat system. But they also made some changes so that magic and ranged also are scaled in the same manner as melee. So I believe that you can be like 136 at least with magic. I don't know actually what the real calculation for magic is because I'm max combat, so I cannot really test that out. They also did a great deal of changes in the PvP, and on the background you can see me failing in this first fight of PvP. I'm actually very bad at EOC PvP, I never done that before, but since it's the beta I just brought my best gear that I had in the bank and just went ahead and fought this guy. So the changes in PvP include that they reduced the PvP damage by 15%, and for each defense levels that you have, the damage gets further reduced by 0.1%. So in PvP you don't deal that much of damage as you deal in the real live game at the moment. So you deal a lot less damage. Also, if you use a protection prayer during PvP, then 25% of the incoming damage is only reduced. So pretty much what everybody is doing is they are always using the protection prayers in PvP, and it doesn't really change the PvP too much. It just makes it a bit slower tempo and you don't die so easily. So that's very nice. You can however still use devotion to get the 75% reduction also in PvP, but I didn't see that many people using devotion yet. But I believe it's a very nice tactic to use devotion when your opponent is just about to do their ultimate ability. Also, when you are eating food in PvP, you don't anymore reduce your adrenaline. So basically, if somebody starts winning, you don't automatically lose the fight because you can just eat one food and then use the abilities at the same time. So you can pretty much eat your whole inventory of food before you die. So that's kind of nice in my opinion. Maybe they should add that you reduce your adrenaline by a couple of percent, like 1-2% or something like that. So if somebody is spamming and eating food, then they would like lose a bit of adrenaline. I don't know about that, but at the moment you don't lose any adrenaline in the beta when you eat food when you are fighting in PvP. Also, you can't see your enemy adrenaline bar when you are fighting in PvP. And when you fight somebody in PvP, you will gain combat XP. So the situation where you gain combat XP is that when your opponent dies, you will get the amount of XP that you dealt damage to that opponent. So you can deal a reasonable amount of damage and you can get a decent XP drop, to be honest. And also when you die, you will be awarded the XP that's related to the damage that you dealt to the opponents that didn't die. So fighting in the wilderness is a viable method of gaining combat XP at the moment. But this obviously might be changed before they add this to the live game. They also added a good amount of new special attacks to the combat beta. So there is, for example, special attack for Vesta Spear and Armadillo Battlestave. But the special attack that's the most interesting to me is the one of the Enchanted Excalibur. And if you have the Enchanted Excalibur equipped, you can just right click and activate it. And it says for Camelot, and it should be healing me. And as you can see, it does, so I'm getting about 350 for each tick that it heals me, and it heals me a couple of times, so it's pretty close to what it was before. So if you want to use the Enchanted Excalibur in things like Pyramid Plunder, now you can do that. One thing they also did to special attacks is that if you have higher combat level than the weapon requires, those special attacks will scale damage up. So I would presume that this means that Armadillo Godsword deals more damage if you have higher stats in melee. I actually didn't test it out myself because I don't have Armadillo Godsword. Finally, they did some smaller changes to the beta as well. So in the beta now you have different icons for fully manual, revolution and momentum as you have on the live game. And also every time you choose revolution for the first time, you will get some guidance hints on how to use the revolution. And also tank armor and shields will now offer damage reduction in PvE, and mobs throughout RuneScape will now be more aggressive towards those invading their personal space. And you can now toggle permanently the chat to be in focus from the top right corner option. So I believe it's this button. So it's always on mode. So I believe that this means that I can automatically chat and it's automatically on focus, and I don't have to do enter chat, and I can just quickly toggle that off and it will turn it back to the enter chat that I want to use. But I do believe that this is what I wanted to say about the combat beta. So there was some changes in the beta, and I hope some of these things get implemented to the live game soon. Especially I like this toggle option over here, so you can just, if you are just skilling and chatting, you can just quickly click this and you will automatically always chat when you write something to the bot. But I hope that you have enjoyed this short little video, and if you like it, please leave it a like, and if you haven't subscribed, you can also subscribe. And thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.